We're here at Ibarmia, standing on their production line, and the machine behind us is the THR16. It's a 5-axis machining centre, and it's been sold. So it's heading out to a multinational oil and gas company. So let's find out why they bought it. Eleazar, congratulations on the sale of this machine. Now, it's a multi-process machine, so what does this mean exactly?
Yeah, in our case, when we say multi-process machine, it's a machine that is not only able to do a milling, but also turning, grinding, and even gear cutting by means of power skiving or hobbing. So multi-process is a kind of integration of many machines, many machining capabilities in only one single spindle.
I want to get into the reason why this company have invested in this machine. Yeah. So what were their requirements?
They were looking for a machining center, 5-axis machining center, let's say to modernize their production capacity. So they were having very old, or let's say very old style machining centers, and they were looking for something new where they could incorporate multiple machining processes. So from their side, they wanted to have full milling capacities, also high turning capacities as well, and then integrating some other kind of processes in the machine. So being aware of the requirement that they were having a very old machining center, they were looking for something new that could, let's say, overcome their challenges in nowadays needs. So they were looking for somebody listening to their requirements and trying to follow as much as possible all these requirements and fulfilling in a single machine.
And let's go into detail in what you've offered to them then.
Yeah. One of the specific requirements in this case was to have a high torque electrospindle to do machining. As you know, in this kind of oil and gas requirements, there are materials that are very hard, so they wanted to have a very powerful electrospindle with high torque in the low range of speed. So they were asking for this kind of electrospindle. The electrospindle should be 𝐯𝐲16. This machine should have also should incorporate high capacity in turning. So the turning table is also provided with high torque for turning. And not only that, the machine is also able to do turning with the part stationary. So without rotating the part, you can do turning by means of two ways. One way is interpolated turning. This is quite usual. But what is, in our case, what was a little bit different from others was that we can incorporate an automatic loading and unloading of an additional head, which is able to do an interpolated turning by means of a U-axis. So with a spindle, without moving the part, you can do turning operations.
And they've gone for a twin pallet or a rotor pallet, haven't they?
Yeah, that's it. So the customer was thinking from the less sophisticated with nothing to the most sophisticated with many pallets. So at the end of the day, you always need to find a balance between the money you invest and the return of investment. So in this case, they selected to have a rotor pallet with an additional feature, let's say, that is a little bit special. Just behind me, you can see a big tower. This big tower is helping them to measure in the outside area the part before doing the loading of the part. So why to have a rotor pallet in this case? While the machine is working inside, outside the customer can prepare and can set up the complete component without losing spindle time. And this is why they selected to have a rotor pallet, in this case with a high precision bearing in the outer station and with this measuring station.
So the customer's here on site looking at the machine and exploring it, but what is it they're doing here today?
Yeah, these days what they are doing is the pre-acceptance, which is including in this case the geometrical test, and we are doing some cutting trials for them as well with their own parts, so that they can see how the new machine is performing with the parts that they need to produce.
And what happens next?
What happens next is that once the final acceptance, the pre-acceptance is signed, we will ship the machine to the customer site. We will go there to do the assembly, the final acceptance, and then we will be doing some training and also supporting them for a few weeks for start of production.
And personally, why do you believe they have chosen you over any other machine tool company?
From my point of view, they like it very much, how flexible we were since the beginning, listening to their requirements. giving them solutions to every single question they may have, also giving them support for the start of production, showing them how to use a modern machining center because they were coming from an old style machining centers, and being able to support them along the life of the machine.